Hey, sixth grade, Mrs. Heskett. You're getting used to these videos, aren't you? Okay, today we're on chapter 7, lesson 3, algebraic expressions. So let's start with the vocab. So we have, right, algebraic expressions. Our first vocab word is algebraic expression itself. And that is a mathematical phrase that includes at least one variable. Okay, so you might ask, what's a variable? So a variable is a letter or symbol that stands for one or more numbers. So here are some examples. We have x plus 10, so x is the variable. 3 times y is the variable. 3x, and we're taking that times a plus 4. So a is our variable. Now, we've talked about it in the past that there are many ways to write multiplication. And we usually use the x. But we learned when we're working with fractions that we do copy dot flip, and that dot is multiplication. So remember that dot is multiplication. Now when we get into algebra, we also have where the variable is right next to the letter or the number, and that means multiply as well. And we have it where the number or variable is next to parentheses. Well, when it's right next to parentheses, that also means multiply. So many ways of multiplication. Fun times. Okay, so now let's look at how to write an algebraic expression. So an artist charges $5 for each person in a cartoon drawing. Write an algebraic expression for the cost in dollars for the drawing that includes P people. So you can see I kind of already did this one for you, but the cost per person times the number of people. And a lot of times they do this. This helps me when I'm doing algebra, is I use the same letter as the first letter in what we're looking for. So we're looking for people. So use a P. And the cost per person is $5. So then the cost in dollars is 5p. Do you see that? So that means you would take 5 times the number of people to find out the cost. Now let's look at, we have 30 more than the product of 4 and x. This is where we have to take a word expression and write it into numbers. So we have 4 times x. So we'd have 30, and then we have to have the 30. So the product 30 more than 4 times x. So that would be 30 plus 4x. Now we have 4 times the sum of x and 30. So start with the sum of x and 30. Then find 4 times the sum. So we have the sum of x plus 30. And we're going to put that in parentheses. And then we need to take that 4 times that whole sum. So I know it sounds a little confusing, but if you break it apart, you can do this. You guys got this. So now let's look at another one. We have 8 times the product of 5 and t. So I hear it automatically. I hear 8 and 8 times. So let's start with 8 times, and maybe I should we'll use the asterisk. That's another way of writing multiplication, is using an asterisk. So let's use that. 8 times the product of 5 and t. So 5 and t, the product, that means we multiply. So this is how we write it when we multiply. So that would be the expression. Now we have the difference of, let's move me up here. Okay, now we have the difference of 2 and the product of 3 and k. So we know that the product of 3 and k is going to be 3k. So that means multiply. And then we have the difference. So that tells us we're going to subtract. So we got 2 minus 3 and k, which is the product of 3 and k. Don't get that confused with addition. Those are a couple examples, and when we get to my table, I'll help you a little more. Enjoy. Have fun with algebra. Look at this little guy. It's so easy. Okay, check you later.